This is the EUYBIKE F6b folding electric bike, and my first minutes with it were all about power and practicality colliding in a chunky, folding package. The frame is a low step-through, so throwing a leg over is effortless. The battery is huge and sits visibly behind the seat tube, so it doesn't try to hide what it is. Key features are obvious right away. A 48 volts, 20 mAh removable battery, a 750-watt motor that peaks to around 1,000 watts. 20-inch fat tires, a front suspension fork, mechanical disc brakes with an EABS cutoff, a 7-speed drivetrain, and a folding hinge that locks up solidly. It also has a center color LCD that's bright enough to read under noon sun and a USB port to top off a phone. I'll be straight about the looks. It's more mini-moto than sleek city bike. The tall stem reminds me of a beanstalk, and the big battery doesn't blend into the frame. It's not subtle, but the low step makes it easy to live with day to day, especially when I'm hopping on and off for errands. The folding part is quick. I can get it unlatched, and folded in under a minute. The catch is weight. This thing is heavy. With the battery installed, lifting it into a trunk is a workout. It folds smaller than a full-size bike, but don't expect to carry it up 3 flights of stairs one-handed. From my experience, setup has a small but important quirk. The display on mine shipped with the wrong wheel size. It was defaulted to 26-inch, which makes the speed read high and can also limit top speed in the controller. Switching the setting to 24-inch matched my GPS and let the bike stretch its legs. If you're new, PAS means pedal assist, where the motor adds power while you pedal. Throttle is motor only, no pedaling. With the display corrected, I saw about 30 miles per hour on throttle on flat ground with a full battery, and around 26 to 28 miles per hour in a high PAS level if I spun fast enough. That's Class 3 territory, which is quick for a 20-inch folder. Power delivery is snappy. The throttle jumps with a quick punch, which feels fun, but can be jerky if you're not braced. Torque numbers on paper are healthy, and in real life, that means it pulls confidently from a stop and grinds up short, steep hills without drama. In my opinion, the controller's initial hit is tuned more for "let's go" than for smoothness. If you're new to e-bikes, try starting in a lower pass and roll the throttle gently until you get a feel for it. The battery is the star. It's 960 watt-hours, which is big for a folder. I did a full day of mixed riding, bike path, a grocery run, back streets, a few hill repeats to see how hot everything got, and clocked just over 50 miles before I even started thinking about range anxiety. I ended with a couple bars showing, though keep in mind those bar displays are not linear. On another ride where I leaned harder on throttle, I got a strong 35-ish miles. If you stay in mid-pass and keep pedaling, 60 to 80 miles is reasonable depending on your weight, wind, and hills. Charging from low took me about 6 to 7 hours. The removable pack is convenient. I pulled it, locked the bike, and charged inside. Comfort is a mix. The front fork takes the edge off cracked pavement and speed bumps. The seat post has some give. The 20x3 tires add cushion and grip on sand, grass, and gravel. But there's no rear suspension, so sharp hits still kick through the frame. I found 20 to 22 psi a sweet spot for comfort without getting too squirmy in turns. On the handling side, this is a short wheelbase bike with small wheels and a tall bar, so at 25 to 30 miles per hour, it can feel twitchy compared to a full-size commuter. I had one sketchy moment crossing wet leaves at speed where the front end got light and I had to gather it up. From my experience, this top-end speed is best for riders who already feel comfortable at pace. If you're new, cap pass to a mid-level, keep speeds in the low 20s, and practice braking and cornering before letting it rip. Let's talk drivetrain and brakes. The Shimano 7-speed is fine for normal use, but at higher speeds, I was spinning out. That's ghost pedaling. Your legs spin, but don't add much past a certain point because the gear is too light. If you plan to cruise at 25 to 28 miles per hour with PAS, consider swapping to a larger chainring so you can actually put power down. The mechanical disc brakes are 180 millimeters and stop well once bedded in, but they need more lever force than hydraulic systems. EABS just cuts motor power the moment you touch the brakes, so you're not fighting the motor when slowing down. For longer hills or heavier riders, I'd upgrade to hydraulic calipers. The difference in lever feel and fade resistance is noticeable. Build-wise, mine came with spoked alloy rims. Spokes needed a quick touch-up after the first shakedown ride, which is normal on new wheels. If yours has mags, you'll skip spoke maintenance but add a bit of weight. The included rear rack is sturdy and actually useful. I hauled a week's worth of groceries with a pair of panniers and the bike stayed planted. The headlight is bright enough for neighborhood speeds. The seat-mounted rear light works, but it's independent, so I kept turning it on by accident when I moved the bike. I'd love an integrated brake light tied to the main battery. I rode in steady rain for a short errand run, and everything held up. IPX4 means splash resistant, good for rain, not for dunking. I wouldn't hose the bike down directly. Keep the charging port cap snapped tight. On reliability and support, I haven't had a failure. I do not have a local dealer, which means most things are DIY or handled through email and shipped parts. I tested support with a basic question and got a reply the next day. That's fine for tweaks, but if you're worried about downtime, keep in mind you won't roll into a neighborhood shop that knows this exact model. Carry a multi-tool, check hinge bolts, and look over the stem latch regularly. It's a strong latch, but any folding mechanism deserves extra attention. A dab of blue thread locker on the rack and fender screws saved me from chase the rattle later. It's perfect for riders who want long range, real speed, a low step to get on and off easily, and a package that can fold to fit a car trunk or a tight apartment hallway. In my opinion, it's also a great beach and boardwalk cruiser. The tires float nicely on packed sand, and the motor makes headwinds disappear. If your priority is the smoothest ride on rough streets, a full suspension frame will be more forgiving. If you want stealthy and lightweight, this isn't it. From my experience, the best way to set it up is to correct the wheel size in the display, lower the initial PAS level, set tire pressures to your roads, and bed in the brakes properly with a few hard stops from speed. After that, it becomes a trustworthy daily ride that doubles as a weekend fun machine. I'd recommend this for commuters with moderate distances, taller or shorter riders who value the step-through, folks who want throttle for lazy days, and anyone who cares more about power and range than polish. If you push high speed but often, invest in hydraulic brakes and consider a bigger chainring. If you're nervous about DIY support, factor that into your decision. In conclusion, the EUYBIKE F6b is a heavyweight folder with heavyweight range and punchy power. It's a practical hauler with a spicy top end. It rewards riders who respect its speed, keep up with basic maintenance, and want maximum miles per charge in a compact frame. It's not fancy, but it delivers on the stuff that matters when you're actually riding. Confidence off the line, honest range, and enough features out of the box to start enjoying it on day one. If this was helpful, hit subscribe and drop your questions or your own F6b tips in the comments. Thank you for watching.